Thank you guys for joining me for another video. In this one, I want to tell you guys about some stocks that I believe are great to invest in and why I believe they are so great, as well as how I decide on which stocks to invest in. Let's just get straight into it. And I want you guys to know that when I research a stock, I don't try to decode complex ratios. I'll be upfront with that. When it comes on to buying stocks, I sought to find other ways to help me. What I did, I started looking at the micro side of a company, which focuses on what the company is doing, and also the macros. On the micro side, I looked at how the company makes money. Is it even making money? Is its revenue growing over time? Does it have a reasonable level of debt? Are they expanding into new markets? Stuff like that. Now, those things are quite simple and they can tell you a lot about whether a business is healthy or struggling. The macro is, for example, currently now we have let's just say oil conflict. We're not going to get into that. I'd look at how such conflict would affect A and B stock. And also, what are people interested in now? There's this statement going around that Gen Z is drinking less alcohol. If they're not drinking alcohol a lot, what are they drinking? And the reason why I would ask myself that question is because Gen Z isn't disappearing tomorrow. They're going to be the largest spending group for decades to come. What can I invest in that Gen Z is using now that will benefit me in the next 10 years, 15 years, or even 5? Who knows? Those are just two examples of how macro factors influence my decision making before buying a stock. Moving on to my recommended stocks. The first one is Broadcom. I think this one is one of my all-time favorites. It is a good example of a company that looks boring on the surface, but it's very strong financially. It is not even being talked about as much as Nvidia and the others. Just so you guys know, it is also an AI stock. This one focuses on the infrastructure that keeps data centers running. And when I look at Broadcom's financials, what stands out is how steady the revenue growth is and the very strong free cash flow. That's an indication that after paying all expenses, the company still has a lot of cash left. This is important because that cash is what allows Broadcom to pay dividends while still growing the business. This tells us the company is quite efficient and also well managed. This next one is AbbVie. Now, AbbVie is a pharmaceutical company and they make medicines for serious conditions like autoimmune diseases and cancer. So demand doesn't disappear when the economy is bad. Profits aren't as high as they used to be, but the cash flow is strong enough, and I think that strong cash flow can support the business and also the dividend that they pay. It's not a stock I expect to double overnight, but I still have faith in this stock because I see where the company is developing a lot more. Then there is the SoFi Technologies, which is very different. SoFi started out as a loan company, actually a student loan refinancing company. That was the original business. However, over time they expanded into personal loans, home loans, and even into banking and investing. Financially, SoFi revenue it's growing quickly, but The profits are still limited because the company does a lot of reinvesting. It reinvests really heavily into expansion. So they're spending to grow. They're spending to grow on everything that they're expanding on. Another one is Novo Nordisk. It's built around long-term health issues, diabetes and obesity, for example. Those don't disappear, unfortunately. And treatment isn't a one-time thing. This company is the one behind Ozempic. Over recent months though, the stocks dropped. However, because of its longevity, I want to keep holding it. Why I say this is because Novo Nordisk is also working on a next generation obesity treatment, which is called CagriSema. So CagriSema shows that Novo Nordisk is already thinking beyond Ozempic. I want to mention that if I'm interested in a new stock, I always start with the company itself. I go directly to the company's website and recent news to understand what they're actually doing, what products they have, what are they building, and where they're heading. But I also use Yahoo Finance a lot because it's free and easy to access. Also, it helps me quickly check, for example, revenue trends, balance sheets, and just the overall financial health without overcomplicating things. So Yahoo Finance is really a good one if you want to take a quick look at a stock. Another one is Seeking Alpha. It's also good. It's a really great website. You can get different viewpoints. You can even get analyst opinions. It's useful for ideas and like risk awareness. Please, could you subscribe? Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright guys. Alright, I'm out. Bye.